Hello, everyone. It's been a minute. Definitely been a minute. Thank you, Burger Bun, for that subscription. And did I see Rolf as well? Thank you, Rolf, and thank you, Jilly Pie, for probably the last of your bits. Is my guess there.
I had to get more.
Of course you did. You could just give me that money like directly, or you could just give it to yourself because Twitch takes a cut of those bits.
That's
but it's
true.
fine. It's fine.
Too
It's
late.
about the hype and the amazingness. Anyway, we are back. Thank you, me handlebars, for those bits as well. Y'all, you're amazing. Sorry about last night. It was a little frustrating, as every game and the two games I tried to play on stream last night just crashed. So I spent a good chunk of the evening. Oh, Ryan, thank you for. Oh, is that a hype train? That's a hype train. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are just fantastic. Hype train starting out as I complain about things. Yeah, everything I tried to do crashed last night. Like everything. Updated video drivers, moved some games from an external hard drive to the hard drive on this computer. I think it's all fixed now, so hopefully that doesn't happen in the future. Thank you, Burger Bun. You're amazing. We are 95% of the way through a level 1 hype train already. We haven't even done anything yet, so thank you all. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Celestial. Hello, my friend. Yes. Computer issues. It's fine. It was fine. I fixed some of those issues. I think played some Stardew on the PlayStation last night and just had a little more of a chill night, which is I think what I needed, but that's okay. Anyway, we're back. That's what's important. You might notice some of the extras here. We'll get into that in just a minute. But as always, we'd like to start our streams with some uplifting news to let you know the world is not all bad. But there's a little bit of negativity that I will probably assist with here. Tam, thank you for gifting a sub to Spicy Meat Brawl, and that is so generous of you. Thank you. You're amazing and a very handsome man.
I know.
So our uplifting news, as you have potentially seen in the news, there's a lot of states, a lot of places that are enacting anti-trans laws. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm just going to be like real honest, everybody here. What Republicans are doing to trans people is the same thing the Nazis did to Jews. It's exactly the same thing. There is no difference at this point. Like we're early on this fascist part, and just making a group of people to be evil because of who they are and making them a scapegoat is fascism 101. So don't fall for it. Love everyone for who they are. That is what Kentucky Fried Dice is about. And if you are not okay with that, this is not the right channel for you. This is not the right community for you. Don't let the door hit you where, the good Lord split you. So that's it. That's what I'm saying about that. Like, no uncertain terms. If you are anti that, if you're anti-trans, if you're anti-LGBTQIA+, if you're anti anything really, like you're not welcome here. This is a welcoming place, and I have no problem booting someone or telling them to get the hell out because of spouting hate. So anyway, Kansas City, who I don't like because of the Chiefs beating my Niners in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but it's a good town. Good town. They have fast internet, and they are considering becoming a safe haven for trans people, in spite of Missouri's anti-trans laws, which is fantastic. We need more safe havens for people that are at risk and people that need the support. So, you know what? Good job, Kansas City. Even though your quarterback sounds like Kermit the Frog, y'all are some good people.
Absolutely.
He really does sound like Kermit, but he's a good quarterback. Can't deny it. We also have, I know, Rolf. I have my fellow 49ers fan in chat there. Thank you, Rolf, for understanding that, because no one else did. That's okay. We have some personal good news from one of our players tonight. I think it's worth sharing. I think it's worth celebrating, if you don't mind. Is that okay with you, Hamed?
Of course.
What you got?
I am happy to inform my friends that as of a week ago, I passed the board exam. I'm a board certified family medicine physician now.
You got so many air horns right there. Just, we are so incredibly proud of you and know you're going to do great things. And we're just grateful to have you as part of our D&D group. So
I'm great to be here, buddy, and call all of you friends. So.
Oh, well, Celestial says hot damn, and they did spell it damn.
Hey, yeah. Hey,
go you.
Can't even say hell anymore. Hey, yeah.
So yeah, welcome everyone. As you might notice, we've added a player. We've got a Jilly Pie who's going to be joining us as a character that we'll introduce shortly. Before we get into our session for tonight, does anyone else have any news they want to share or talk shit about Missouri? Both are welcome. Okay. I will take that as a no. Sorry, I'm looking for my ceiling fan controller.
I do have some personal good news to share in addition.
Oh, go ahead.
I got to see Lizzo, the Queen, in concert. It was amazing and life-changing. So I'll just share that with all of you. Somehow she made an arena show feel like an intimate performance, and I think we might be best friends, even though I was in the nosebleeds.
Oh my gosh.
I told Jill this on our walk today, but like at work I have to share good news on our Wednesday meetings that last 2 freaking hours of just hell in a meeting. And my good news was that my wife got to see Lizzo. I don't know if that says a lot for how life's going right now or what, but like it is pretty great. She was so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Rolf has some good news as well. Last week he did 1 year at your current contract job. Congratulations, Rolf. That is amazing, my friend. Very proud of you.
Nice.
Chat, if y'all have good news, please share it with us. We love hearing it. We want y'all to we support each other and build each other up because that is what we are about.
Please do.
Yeah. So as we start that, we have a recap from last week's or 2 weeks ago's episode. And I believe Ryan is going to read that for us. So Ryan, whenever you're ready, my friend.
All right. Well, the party leaving Rilo's office was suddenly approached by a tabaxi. They informed James of a city planning emergency, and despite his reluctance, the party convinced him that they would be fine, and he should go handle the situation. So off they went to handle a building that needed to be inspected. Right now. Ken, Karn, and Chime all stood together and discussed the merits of going into the sewers. They instead decided to go visit Susanna, the mother of the missing hag baby, to gather any information they could from her. Her room in the Duck Inn was quiet, and the party found her sitting silently on the bed, staring out the open window. Susanna said that night, the window was open, Rosalie was quiet as always, and Susanna fell asleep per usual. When she woke up, Rosalie was gone. Looking everywhere, all over the room, out of the window, she was nowhere to be found. Karn checked for any magical influences in the room and found nothing new. Ken, having an idea to use locate object, asked for anything similar to what the baby was wearing that evening. Susanna, knowing and being assured that the party will do their best, gave them a blanket made from the same fabric as Rosalie's pajamas, and saw them on their way. Chime double-checked with Daisy and said that she didn't notice anything out of the ordinary on the night of the disappearance. Using the blanket and locate object, the party was led to a spot north of town in a small murky pond. Part of a filthy ripped part of the same fabric laid atop of that. Fearing an ambush, Kin cast Bless on the 3 of them. One forehead touch and predator handshake later, Chime carefully began to approach and found that it matched the blanket exactly, despite the fact that it was covered in mud. Suddenly, dog barking and singing erupted from nearby, and the party scrambled for cover. Kin was unable to completely cover himself in time, and the incoming gnolls halted, silent, as soon as they spotted them. A fierce fight ensued, with one in the back regularly checking a little handheld box, cackling madly, saying that they had a special gift for the party. Easily taking the group down, Kin grabbed the box and looked inside to find a small gnome-sized ear and a letter folded in. The letter read as follows: My dear friends, you may have taken Brownstone from me. You may have delayed the awakening of the Destroyer, but there are other ways to do my bidding. There are others who have skills who you left unprotected while you gallivanted across the continent attempting to thwart my plans. Yes, this is a trap, and yes, you will come for your little gnome friend. He might not hear you come, but he will know you're coming. I have him at the bottom of Handlebar Mines. His mind is fascinating. He can think of inventions and ways to do things that never crossed my mind. So if you want to see him alive, you'll come find us at the bottom of the Handlebar Mines. Don't worry, I do have an army between you and me. If you make it, at least you'll see your little friend Meatball before you die. And don't worry, the Marquess, she'll be there too. Love, Dragonbane. Party knew that they had to jump into action. Chime took their information to Mostep, letting him know that the baby more than likely was dead, and that they would be leaving town for a while. Mostep solemnly accepted the reality, absolved her of one favor, and wished her well. And that is where we left off.
So, Hardy, what plans do you need to make or anything you need to do before you leave town?
Well, am I even there?
The building passed inspection. You did have to give a list of things to fix, like minor fixes. But you are there, and who wants to tell him? You know what's happened, since he didn't see the note yet.
I can.
So is this me coming back to most steps?
You all were meeting up at the at Howard's Duck Inn, was your all's plan. Okay. Whenever everybody finished up. So we'll have you all meeting there the end of that night, after the Knoll battle, after the emergency building inspection. And that's where we're gonna start.
Cool.
I'm just imagining that James is entering wearing a hard hat with holes specifically cut out for his teeth.
Oh, that's cute. It's cute. I guess whenever James comes in, I'll come over to him. Hey, we need to get ready to go. Long story short, Meatball's being held at the bottom of the Handlebar Mines, and the baby's probably dead. Probably. I mean, everything we found would suggest that it's dead.
Okay. What about Meatball?
Yeah, Meatball's alive. Which is exciting, but also, Dragonbane sent us a message in the form of Meatball's ear, and also a literal message. We're leaving in the morning.
Sounds like a trap.
Do you show him the ear?
No.
Okay.
Would I have to make a Constitution saving throw if I did?
To see a severed gnome ear?
Probably.
I think you'd be okay.
You don't know me.
Oh, just God's name ear.
Kevin's got this 1,000-mile stare on his face. He's very quiet this entire time because what's going through his mind is the PTSD from seeing bits and pieces and parts of his brother's statue on the ground. And so he is smoldering. And I guess I want to assume that he's kind of holding the container with his ear with gradually more and more force till his fingernail.
You
I think you broke the box.
You crushed the box.
You crushed it.
Can crush the box.
Yes.
So I don't know how you're holding the ear now. I guess just like clenching your fist a bit, probably not too tight, but
it's in one of his pockets. He knows that he can use a locate object on it too. So, but yeah, he's very quiet at this point in time. He's got some wicked anger brewing right now.
Okay, so we're just going straight to the Handlebar Mines and meeting up with Dragonbane. Is that what I'm hearing?
That was the plan.
And he's just gonna let us walk up?
No, definitely.
Probably not.
I think we need to stop and talk to Mostep first.
We need to find a stealthy way in.
And if we're going up against Dragonbane, we probably need to take Chama Ucox with us.
Probably. I already let him know that we were going out of town, but I didn't think to ask him for Chama Ucox at the time. So, Yeah, I guess that's a good idea. We can hit that.
I'd say you could be forgiven for being too shook up about Meatball, and also Rosalie, to think everything through in like 3 minutes. No worries.
Does Susanna deserve an update before we skip town?
I'm not going to be the one to tell her. You all be my guest.
Say nothing, right? That we found a fabric. That is it, but there was no baby.
Well, Mosep's the one that initiated the search, and he's been given the fabric, and he's been notified of our findings. So I imagine Mosep is going to be the one to tell her.
Where is he right now?
Back at the Flock and Key.
I see. I think we should stop there first. What do you all think?
Sounds good.
Let's go there now.
Okay.
Daisy, can we get a to-go bag?
She nods and puts a couple of loaves of bread in the bag and hands it to you. And, smiles at you, mostly with her eyes. Her mouth usually stays shut, but like definitely smiles with her eyes and hands it over.
Thank you. We'll be back when we can.
She just nods and acknowledges you and just kind of goes back to working. She's working really hard keeping this inn running. All right.
Okay. We leave the inn, yeah. So
it's a nice night. The streets aren't overly crowded, but people are out and about wandering still. It's a stark contrast to how you remember the city being 6 months ago, with basically martial law, curfews, and patrols of half lizard, half people guards out at all times. The Flock and Key, the lights are on inside. The door is unlocked, and as always, your gnome and dwarf friend are fiddling with locks and discussing. And as the door opens, they stop talking and see you come in and smile, nod, and wave towards the awaiting door for you. The gnome says, "He's just in there. I'm assuming you're here to see Mosep, right?"
Yep, thanks.
Yeah,
ignore him and walk past.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Yeah. Lock breaker. Mosep is sitting in his the great hall / living room / whatever of his abode. As usual, reading something. Glass of a dark liquor sitting next to him. Perks up as the four of you enter. Oh, mama, I thought you were leaving town.
About to.
I did too.
We are about to. Chime, I assume Mosep's caught up on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we think that since, there's a lot between us and Meatball, that, Dragonbane and maybe also the Marquess again somehow or whatever, we might want to take that the egg with us.
Mighty fine thinking. Thought you might come back for it. He reaches under the table sitting next to him and almost like a sleight of hand pulls out the full egg and extends it out to you.
I take it. Awesome. Have any insight on Dragonbane, his army?
Now, how'd you do that?
Oh, a magician never reveals his secrets, my dear.
You're not a magician. You're a bird.
Oh. Well, tell that to my magic-using self.
Whatever.
I sense a little jealousy in your voice, my dear.
No, magic's gross and weird.
Mosep, have you heard any news or any information from the Handlebar mines lately?
I have a couple of sources up there. Things have not been good. Dragonbane has allied himself with all the gnolls living in the mountains, and they have made Handlebar Mines their base. The dwarves living there tried to seal themselves in the mines, but that did not last. What has become of them is most worrisome. I've heard rumors that Dragonbane has some type of creature working for him that might have found a way to touch the plains directly. Little worrisome there, ain't it? Well,
quite.
I think that's what I know, and that's what I'm telling you. And of course, I'm gonna say, be careful. You're all way too beautiful to not come back.
I'm hearing you say you all, but I'm seeing you only make eye contact with Ken.
Well, I've heard that once you go tiefling, I can't think of something that rhymes, but I'd sleep with you.
Wow.
Once you go tiefling, you won't be leaving.
Thank you, God.
Darn. I'll think about it.
Okay, all right. Anything else?
All day. Just let me have it.
I'm trying to wrap my head around the idea of some sort of disguise, and I do not see us ever successfully pulling anything off in that realm. There's no way to enter this without getting caught. I assume this egg is kind of our trump card, but we're walking into an obvious ambush. He even said in the damn letter.
Well, I think maybe another form of stealth might be a better option.
I see.
Well, we know from experience, now granted, we didn't exactly record where the hell we went, but we know there's more than one way in and out of those mines.
That's right.
That might be worth exploring, but my understanding is his entire Gnoll army is camped out in what used to be the surface town of Handlebar Mines. What the mines themselves look like, I have no idea. But I also heard a rumor those dwarves had allied themselves with some type of ancient dark magic user who had animated some form of creatures to do work in the mines.
Fuck.
It's out of the frying pan and into the fire. It sounds like there is a good option here.
Privately, to Ken, I'm gonna be like, that's our fucking fault. That's our fault. Fuck!
I'm just gonna whisper under my breath. Oh, the fucking spike.
Oh. What, That's a question for another time, I think.
Nothing.
Y'all have proven yourselves again and again. If you cause some type of mayhem, it is but a small drop in the bucket of the good you have done and you will do.
Hey, Mostep, any part of that mountain range volcanic?
Not that I'm aware of, but it could perhaps be something worth exploring. I have myself have not made it up there, and my information has been limited at best. It's hard to find a reliable spy from this far away, and information is hard to transfer from over such a long distance.
Okay. Out of game, what season are we in of the 4 seasons?
I think it was like early spring.
So there's still a snowpack, is what I'm hearing.
In the mountains? Potentially. Yes, potentially.
I have an idea. We'll have to kind of scope out the area to see if we can induce an avalanche. But it's worth looking into. I've thought we've come up with crazier things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, another quick out of character question, because this is from way back in early season. I think early season 2. Didn't we? So we fought those phase spiders in like a fortress inside was it the Handlebar Mines?
That was in the Handlebar Mines.
Yeah.
And then it went all the way up to like a peak because there was a dragon or something up there.
Quick correction.
Okay.
The phase spider fight was not in the Handlebar Mines. You all discovered a tunnel that best that I think what happened. There was a doorway that headed in the direction of Handlebar Mines, but y'all couldn't figure out how to get past it. And then you continued the opposite direction and you went to the peaks, and that's where you made it to the city of the Celestials. And there was the fight with the demons up there and some of the gnolls, and the large Balor demon was killing things, and then he died and exploded, and it was a whole lot.
So that was not the Handlebar Mines. That was
not inside. That was very near, but that was not inside the actual mines. And like that door went in the direction of the mines, but there's no way of knowing for sure that it did.
Right.
But I think was revealed that at least it was rumored that the dwarves didn't actually find deposits of gold and other like metals. They found basically an old dwarven civilization down there and were just dismantling it and selling things using the labor of the golems that you encountered.
Yep.
Yeah. See? I can roll build.
Okay.
Let's arrange some sort of transport, a caravan, and get up there. I suggest we do it in the cover of night.
Okay, but what's the plan? That's how we get there. What happens after that?
We figure it out.
So and where are we headed? Are we taking a caravan to Handlebar Mines? Are we taking it to that fortress thing that we went to before and try and find a back way in?
The fortress. After the fortress, we went to the Celestial Plane. We were gated out of there. I'm not exactly sure how to get back. I suggest we take the direct approach, and when we get to Mustache Pass, we figure things out on the way, and maybe talk to the locals, try to figure out alternate routes or kind of the lay of the land. We'll figure it out, like I said.
The swamplands that we went through, those were pretty tough, and it's not going to be easy to sneak through there.
I mean, we don't have how many caravans did we have before? At least
you
two.
were taking supplies. Y'all had 2 or 3 full wagons full of supplies you were taking up there as well.
Yeah. So we're going to be traveling a lot lighter than that, and we're going to be traveling with a lot fewer people than that.
Right. James,
that's true.
I recall a story that I was told a long time ago where people keep asking how come the main characters in the story did not use eagles to fly there faster. And the answer was because they were being tailed. They were being followed the entire way. I don't suspect we'll be alone on this trip, if you know what I mean.
That's ominous.
I don't know what makes you say that, but it's a good thing we all have eyeballs that function.
It's just a hunch.
Okay.
Shall we wait till night, or shall we go during the...
I mean, it's night now, but we have been running around all day.
Agreed. We can rest. We can hit the road, ready to go, and expect anything. And figure this out along the way. Is everybody in agreement?
Good with that.
Fair. Thank you for your time, Mustap, and for everything you've done for us.
If we're not heading out right now, I'm just going to go ahead and tell him about Handlebar Mines, our time there.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go to his liquor cabinet.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, tell him that story. I figure this information is going to be useful to you somehow, and in exchange, you'll continue to share information with us.
Of course. Do you think perhaps that that tunnel you were in? I've heard rumors of dwarves building underground roads for the trade partners. Do you think there's a chance that's what that was?
Is there a way like I can try to remember what that was in that context?
Sure.
Since I wasn't thinking about it in that context before, is there a way I could like try and revisit it?
Yeah, so I think that would probably be maybe just a wisdom check, or maybe if you want to do like history. I could even see it being intelligence for like just recalling the information and analyzing it. So I think any of those would work.
I think personal memory, thinking like strictly like how would this play out for a personal memory, probably wisdom. And I'm not even looking at my wisdom. I'm not answering that based on numbers.
That's fine. I agree. I think wisdom is probably the best stat for that, but
yeah, that's a flat roll for me, by the way. But here we go.
John, you guys want a drink?
15.
Okay, we 15. Have to leave. Don't drink too much.
Okay.
With a 15, like, it makes a lot of sense how the placement of the tunnel being close to what was another road. In some places it was very wide. In other places it maybe didn't make as much sense to be a road. Like, you think the face spider room specifically, that was like trapped everywhere with like rolling boulders, and it was a lot of back and forth, almost like a maze. So, but that also like could have been, just knowing how dwarves are, like a dwarven caravan would never go that way. So they set up traps as a trick. Like, that's something a dwarf might do. But there was like an armory there and lots of other ways to go. So potentially part of a network of dwarven trading. And if there was a civilization up there before, that would make a lot of sense. Obviously, the dwarves that have recently moved into the mines, they never could have done that. There was nowhere near enough time. But it did look ancient to you.
I'm good. Yeah, so I'll relay that as my probably.
Okay. James, maybe we get to Mustache Pass and ask about the old mines, if you know what I mean. There's a way into them from there.
I mean, I don't think there's going to be anyone there for us to talk to.
Unless Mostep knows somebody there.
Mostep.
Have any contacts in the area?
In the mines themselves?
No.
Anywhere close?
Handlebar Pass.
Not Handlebar Pass itself. I do have a friend, you might say, who I think's been in the general vicinity. I don't know how much she'll like you, but perhaps if you meet her, she might be of some assistance. She might better tell you what she's seen lately.
How will she know we're friend and not foe?
Well, if you tell her, if you just tell her you know Mostep, then that's a guaranteed in. But she might not approach you at first. She's very cautious.
Of course.
Is there anything?
Is there like a? I mean, you know us. We have thieves' can't. Is there any particular sound you would want me to make? Maybe.
I think practice your bird calls.
Quack.
I don't know if the quack would do it, but maybe.
What about? Is there anything distinctive that you're known to have that she would know about? Like maybe one of your amazing bottles of spirit that you share with us from time to time.
I think she's typically mostly concerned about my charm.
So you're a pair of your sequin tights. James, you want to wear them?
Well, let me just take a bottle of your charm then.
Tell you what. He's wearing one of his like very poofy, fluffy shirts, like as he is known to wear with the frilled collar and stuff. And he like
Austin Powers.
It's an ascot.
Yes. Thank you. He rips the frilly collar off. And he said, "No one else in this world wears something like this."
Yeah, no kidding.
She'll recognize it. She might come at you, wondering where you got it. but she also might just observe. So,
can you at least write on it like I'm okay or something, and script that she would know is yours? So, but not sign it because that's probably not a good look for you.
I like it. This is really cool.
It's a very good look for you, Ahmed. You look amazing.
These are my pajamas. Don't ask why they're not on my page. Never mind. Let's move on.
He's like, I don't know how I'd write on this. If you see it, and if she approaches you and sees it, and she listens to you talk, she will know that you are on my side.
I need to practice my step accent. Let me try it. I do declare.
I have never said those words in my life.
Yes, you have.
I guess I have.
Yeah. Do you
He's from Alabama.
Do you have a sound name?
My dear, in the form of magic I use, knowing someone's true name is a way to destroy them.
Oh, good. Great. That's
so,
awesome. I'm
my
glad
name.
You've definitely led with that when we met you.
Oh.
It's probably Carl.
My dear, I would never use that magic to hurt you, but sometimes those I deal with, if they were to know my true name, the consequences would be disastrous.
Okay.
So is that. Everyone knows me as Mostep.
Okay. All right. I see it's a trust issue.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Mostep is usually not this confident about something, and we should just take his word for it.
That might be better for moving on with the story.
That's fine.
That was OOC, by the way.
I'm pretty sure that the person we're talking about is sitting here watching us, wishing we would get onto it.
Get on with it.
Come on!
I like how I'm the one that brings us back when I was the one that railroaded us in the first place.
Could you please put your DNA and social security number on this piece of paper? And then we're going to wave it around and be like, don't steal my credit report. Thank you.
Walk in the forest and say, hey, who knows this guy?
Brother's maiden name?
First bet.
First city you were born in? Yeah.
But if you would like to take a bottle of my liquid charm with you, I have very few left, but
if you think she'll recognize us,
she would not recognize this bottle. I don't know if she drinks.
Okay. Well, then some for liquor.
I think
it gets boring on the road, so
he gives you a bottle, but not the good stuff, like the okay stuff.
Okay.
I mean, like the equivalent of like Four Roses. Like it's cheap, but it's good.
Fair.
Okay, it's fine. Whatever it is, yes.
All right, let's get going.
All right. So you're leaving first thing in the morning?
Yeah.
Rest
okay.
pack.
Crash your most place.
Okay. The road is pretty much empty. And in most places it's not been maintained, as there's no trade. Hasn't been trade probably for the last year between the two places. It's even though Dragonbane took them both over, he needed them for different reasons, and trade was not involved in that. So after several days, you start to notice there's a bird that's been following you. I'm just going to ask a random player what kind of bird it is, because, you know, Jillian, what kind of bird do you think would be following them?
An owl.
Oh. And so at first it's like not that weird, but you're pretty sure you've seen the same owl for a couple of days.
Oh.
That's what I want to know. Who?
I'm going to start trying to offer it food. Leave a little food out for it.
Oh. So
why don't you do that for me?
Because you can talk and just let me know that you want food. and I will hand it to you because you have
Fine.
hands.
And usually you're not shy about taking food when you want it.
Beside the point.
So it's been a couple of days of this owl following, and you're just south of the Soul Patch Swamp. I think that's what it was called.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
You can like kind of smell that swampy air, and the ground's getting murky. The trees are losing their like prettiness, and they're now like ugly swamp trees, because swamp trees aren't pretty. Some of them might be. Maybe like some mandrakes. Are the mandrakes growing swamp? Is that a tree?
Mandrakes are fictional.
Oh, well, whatever. There's something cool. And there's trees.
Mangroves.
Mangrove, thank you. That's what something.
Then?
And as you're making camp for that night, the owl is on a nearby mangrove branch just above where you set up camp for the night.
Can I do some sort of check to see if there's something off about this owl? Arcana, maybe?
Probably just nature. It's an owl.
Nature check. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of like observe and see if I recognize its like species, whether it's common to this area, if I can kind of understand why we might have seen it. Is it the same one in every kind of characteristic, or is this definitely the same one that's been following us?
Sure, go ahead. Give me a nature check.
10, so.
Like, it definitely looks like the same owl. Like, you're not an expert on owls, but like, you're pretty sure it's the same one. It just feels weird.
I want to start cooing back at it.
With the exact same intonation and everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Who? Who?
Where?
Who?
What?
I'm talking to the owl.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were saying adverbs.
Who? Who?
And sometimes why. Oh, sorry.
So the owl gets a little closer. And a little closer.
And Ken pulls out his greatsword.
No, Ken, no!
Oh, sorry.
Not everything needs to be solved with violence.
The owl gets very close to Ken and
His hands are on the
notices
greatsword.
his ascot situation and says, "Ooh."
Oh, you like it? Here, we can make a little nest for you. Here.
Wait, are you actually asking who? Because if so,
Ooh.
low step.
Well, the owl said who?
I make
That's
a
for
little
Mostep.
nest.
Mostep.
That's for Mostep.
That's our friend.
Ooh, it's
for
Mostep.
And now it's a nest for you. Hop in.
Not important. We don't need it.
Mostep's fine, by the way.
The owl backs up a little bit, gets a little further away from them,
Bounces.
and then untransforms from an owl.
Oh my god, it's a person!
For you.
So we don't have finished art yet for this character. Jillian, do you feel comfortable describing, or would you like me to? What makes
I don't have it. I don't have the art in front of me, so I don't think I would do a good job at it.
No
match
problem.
The art.
I will do my best then, because I have it in front of me. So it's a halfling female. I think the best way to describe her might be a hot badass, or what was the other term that we used for this?
That's a pretty good descriptor.
I feel like you had one more though, didn't you?
Is it like a character or a celebrity she kind of looks like?
So it's a halfling,
Okay.
like red hair. It's very thick, but kind of matted, and there's like bits of leaves and stuff in it. Like she's spent a lot of time out in like the world, wearing like leather armor, an undershirt that is like green cotton. Probably the most distinct feature, though, is on her face, kind of around on her face, like around her right eye, is a handprint, at least the outline of a handprint, and it's in this almost electric blue color. And it maybe like if the moonlight is hitting it just right, it has a hint of a glow, and as that glow comes across, you see tiny little runes all transcribed within this patch. She has a shield on her back, but otherwise, you're not noticing like a ton of weapons or anything. And I'm guessing you're, halfling size, so about half the size of a human, so 3 feet or so tall, but very fierce looking. Definitely has been out in these woods a while and has been able to take care of herself, no problem.
Hello, druid.
It's a witch.
It's a druid. Calm down.
What is that?
What have you done with Mostep?
Nothing.
He's fine.
He's an insufferable bastard.
Yeah, we
haven't done anything with him, despite his advances. We haven't done anything with him.
Yeah. Huh.
I specifically said, is there a way we can convey that you're okay with a ripped ascot? And he didn't listen.
He went right on it.
He did send us with booze.
I feel like
The
you must
bottle's
be
like half
friends
empty at this point.
of Mostep.
We go back.
I said you must be friends of Mostep.
Bring that liquor over. Yes, of course. He sends us as a gift.
Wonderful. You all have been... I have been following you for several days. What is your business in these woods?
We are trying to save the world.
Oh.
Lightly.
Which includes nature.
Mm. Okay.
You know that bastard Dragonbane?
I do know that bastard.
Yeah. He kidnapped our friend, and we're gonna go kill him. At least
Your
that's
friend
the plan.
or Dragonbane?
He kidnapped our friend. We're gonna go kill Dragonbane.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Point of clarification noted.
Rescue the friend and kill Dragonbane. That's the plan.
Well,
Friend's name is Meatball.
Do you have a name?
yeah. I am Rosa.
Hello, I'm James.
I'm
James?
Karn.
Karn? Who are you, duck friend?
I am Kenneth Mandrake Duckian III, but you can call me Kentuckian.
Nice to meet you, Kentuckian.
I'm gonna say my sound name,
Mm.
which is the sound of chimes in the wind.
Mm. Nice to meet you, friend.
You can call me Chime.
So it shall be, Chime.
Cool.
We've been at odds with this Dragonbane for quite some time. He's been wreaking havoc, killing gods, and throwing different civilizations into upheaval. Now, it's gotten personal. Ken pulls out the box with, not the box, but the towel with Meatball's ear wrapped into it, and slowly opens it up and shows him. He sent this. This is from what we assume to be our friend Meatball. So as you can see, we've got a bone to pick with this guy. What has he done to you or your people?
What has he not?
It's fair.
Keeping us on our journey.
I'm one with the land. And if you are here to help with the land, I shall help you.
I'm one with my sword, and I'm here to fuck up a Dragonbane.
I also like that.
Rosa, druid friend, thank you. I appreciate that. I would love your help, although I don't necessarily speak for everyone's. Because we run ourselves as basically a group of equals. So while I can't by myself invite you along, I would be happy for you to come if my friends agree.
Group huddle. We turn around. Just wait right there. Group huddle. She seems useful.
She's a witch.
She's not a witch. She's a druid.
What? You still haven't told me what that is.
Okay, it's
she was an owl.
Magic,
one
but
minute,
nature
and then
magic.
she was a short person the next.
That's a halfling.
Okay.
What's a witch?
Okay, so you know how you're a Kenku.
Yeah.
And I'm a tiefling.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a halfling.
Okay, that's not the problem.
Okay.
The problem is that she was a bird, and then she wasn't a bird.
Yeah,
Card was a bird, and he was not a bird.
When was Card a bird?
He had freaking wings.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That's not important at this point.
If I was suddenly not a bird, you all, I would expect you all to throw me out.
Just the same.
Okay. Let me explain this. She has nature magic, and she can turn into different animals. I don't know how many or which ones, because we just met her. But that is something common among nature or druidic magic.
Right. Yeah. The only reason we recognize that there is an owl trailing us in the dead of night is because we were looking for being tailed. Don't you think that her abilities might be useful in certain scenarios, especially getting out of small places?
Or, trying to check on places that we're trying to sneak into?
I mean, and also, there's an awful lot of testosterone in this group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could have told you that.
Yeah, you have.
Several times.
Several times.
Right.
Why don't you mansplain us some more?
And only a few of them has he started it out with, actually. I think we invite her along. I mean, it seems like she's raring for the same fight that we are.
The enemy of our enemy is our friend, Chime. And listen,
I will go with majority vote.
Fair, but if you at a certain point have a very good reason why we should abandon our new friend, don't hesitate to tell us, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I'm going to be real with you all. You've had plenty of reasons to abandon me, and you haven't, so...
That's because you're useful.
Oh, I see.
He puts an arm around her and kind of like pulls her close. I'm just joking.
Uh-huh.
Joking about which part?
Moving on. So...
Well, I guess she's in.
You're in.
Tribe is spoken.
So how long have you been in these lands?
For many, many years.
How old are you? Because you seem like a sort of a ageless being, and also you were just a bird.
How old are you, Chime?
I'm 17. Thanks for asking.
Ken whispers to James and Card. Last time we had 2 women in our group, there were fireworks that time too, right?
I just walk away.
I'm not going to be part of this. I'm an idiot, but I have a pretty decent sense of self-preservation.
All right, Ken pulls out popcorn from his bag and he just starts eating it while watching the 2 of them talk.
Chime, I sense the fact that I came into your group as an owl is quite alarming to you.
I mean, it's okay. It's nothing against you personally. It's just that, like, suddenly, like, you're an owl, and I get that, and that's normal for me, because, like, look at me. But, and then you, like, weren't. And it's really hard for me to grasp in my brain. And no one ever lets me talk for this long.
It is unusual.
I'm continuing to eat popcorn.
I am not an owl. I am me, Rosa. But I can become small animals.
You can be other things?
Yes, I am one with nature.
Like I said, useful. Or helpful. Sorry. Wrong choice of words.
I'm going to turn around and kick a little fist at him.
I thought, as I was observing your party, since so many of you have feathers, if I had feathers, you would welcome me.
Birds of a feather do flock together.
I mean, do you usually do owls, or like what else do you do? What other tricks you got?
Wait, so you berate Mostep for being a magician, and then you turn around and you ask our brand new friend to just put on a show for you.
I'm just
Sorry.
It depends on the situation. If I have seen an animal, I can become it usually.
Chat has a bunch of great suggestions on what animals Rosa might have seen, to which I am saying yes to everything.
Oh man.
Can we get a stat block for a sugar glider, please?
Oh my god.
I did suggest sugar glider.
We're gonna
I saw that.
Sure, yeah, we'll do it.
I saw some awesome genius said sugar glider.
Yes.
Yeah. We can have a stat block for a sugar glider, no problem.
While we're deciding whether or not to invite our new friend on this very dangerous mission with us, time is a-wasting, so I recommend we set aside our differences and move forward.
I disagree with you, because if we try to move forward with a group that not everyone's comfortable in, we're gonna fail. Do you want to fail?
I have no problem with her coming with us.
Is this a good place to set up camp then?
You'll already set up camp. That was what was happening.
Okay.
So yeah, we got time. We got time to hang out.
All right. I'd like to do some nature gathering, try to go fishing basically in the swamp, even though it's not very deep.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, while stuff is going back at the camp, Ken's going to go off on his own for a little bit.
Okay.
I would like to tell the, we'll call it the safer work version of our travels. The version that we can tell of the things that we are not keeping secret from people, most people, like obviously Mostep knows pretty much everything at this point, but things that we aren't afraid to actually talk about with like people we see around town. I'll talk about that, just what we've done so far, why we're doing that, and try and sprinkle in things like, so what is your story? And like, is your actually, Rosa, I do have I have a specific question for you, and if you don't want to answer it, I totally understand. You don't have to. But sounds like you have something against Dragonbane, like the rest of us. But I'm curious if it's a more of a general reason, or if you have a specific reason or story there.
I think a time will come when I can share specifics of my story, but I always want to protect our land. And he is not a friend of the land. And I am not a friend of him. And I am happy to assist you all. And if a time ever comes when you no longer need my assistance, I can fly away.
Rub it in my face, why don't you?
Wow, is this the kind of resentment you had when I could fly?
You could fly?
Yeah, for bits and pieces.
Yeah, no.
When I had the big glowing wings.
Till somebody killed him.
Wasn't me.
All right, Shaggy.
I guess the other big thing is, like, this is, like, really dangerous. Are you? I mean, are you good? Like, any of us could die.
I will try to keep that from happening. I can use my magic to help heal you during battles.
Oh.
Make sure. Yes. You know, nature magic.
Nature
heals you.
Like, emotionally or physically?
Well, nature... which one do you need?
I mean, all of it. It's, you know what? It's never mind. Never mind.
I can heal physically.
Okay. All right. That's good to know.
But nature can, in fact, heal you emotionally.
Yes, I think.
So maybe. True.
All right. I think I would actually apologies. I'd actually like to go meditate for a while. So I'd like to go off and meditate.
So
James, you hungry?
Maybe in a bit.
Okay. Ken comes back with 5 fish he's got.
Nice. I'm not doing anything specific. I just want to meditate. I feel like it's getting to the point where I need to kind of be in contact and be ready to receive any messages that Danya wants to throw my way, but I don't really want to bug her because I feel like if she has something I need to know, she'll let me know.
Okay. During your meditation, you get a faint whisper. And the whisper is only a few words. And it's, she is chosen as well.
My eyes pop open. Close. Say a silent thank you. And then I run back. Guys, I have some wonderful news. Rosa is chosen.
Rose, I don't know if did you all cover the Dunya part of?
Probably not.
Yeah, so Rosa, you really have no idea what that means. I'm sorry.
I feel pretty confident that rings true. Of course I'm chosen.
She's like, I didn't even know if I was chosen.
You have no idea.
You have a moment to
we
talk.
Know you're chosen now.
We about his word and Hebrew Dunya.
We know now that we the 4 of us are chosen. She just let me know Rosa is also chosen.
Listen,
I think our paths were meant to converge.
Yeah, James is telling the truth here. He has a connection with one of the primordials.
No, not the primordials. The mother of the primordials.
One of the mother of the primordials.
The only mother.
The only mother.
Oh my God. Can I just tell the story?
If you can tell it right.
He has a connection with somebody important who assisted us in the past. I can't do it with a straight face.
I gave Donald a coughing fit. He's getting the inhaler, you all.
All right, so it's okay. We're just gonna fast forward. So, Ken tells Rosa all about this connection that James has, and the story regarding finding the gemstones and their gem keys, and coming up with the egg and what it did for us when we faced the Medusa, and that it was only a gift to the chosen. And to hear the fact that she is chosen mean that that is a sign that she absolutely is supposed to be on this mission with us.
No, I'm gonna 100% say that you being here is 100% your free will. Like, if you choose to leave, I totally understand that. But you may know Dunya as sorry, what, Corn?
No, I was just adding, we realize it's a lot to hear, hey, this godlike being has basically chosen you.
You may know her as the creator, the mother of the parents of the gods. She is the gods' grandmother.
She's old.
So, like you, she is interested in creation. she is interested in balance and nature and life.
Well put.
I'm no stranger to this kind of pressure. I will join you.
Would you like some
Amazing.
fish?
Yes, please.
All right. And Ken has perfectly filleted this fish and roasted it using banana leaves, and he's somehow seasoned it with some hickory oak and some salt he had in his pocket, and hands it over. Enjoy.
I'm assuming this is all like nice swamp water catfish.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But with pocket salt on it.
With pocket salt.
Pocket salt, yeah.
You're very careful to make sure you got everything out of the right pocket, considering you're carrying it in one of the pockets.
How do you think he's keeping the ear fresh?
Oh god.
Oh, nasty.
Don't dry the thing out. There's a tiny chance I can maybe fix that.
Mending. Okay, we'll figure it out when we get there.
It might not be good, and it might take some extra magic.
I don't think
But
you
there's
need
a
an
chance.
ear to hear. We don't have ears and we can hear.
I mean, we have ears, but they're like inside of our head. I assume. I'm not that learned.
Hear, yes.
That wasn't obvious.
You guys can hear. Listen, that's another thing.
That is a valid point.
And while Karn was talking, Ken already left and went off to bed.
My point exactly.
I was going to ask you about setting a watch, but it doesn't matter tonight. So we're not going to deal with that. But Rosa, you do know a way, like a safer way through the swamp. You're kind of familiar with the area. You do spend a lot of time up here. And if you chose, you could navigate them through a like much less dangerous area. Because you'll encounter quite a bit up here on your last journey.
Flesh golems.
Yes. Please, let me guide you. I have spent many, many years on these lands.
Absolutely. We did not have a very nice path last time.
Yeah, please lead the way.
All right. So where are you going? That is the important question here.
On my secret path, obviously.
Let me
Where's
ask.
the path lead to? It's the important one.
So I've heard you all discussing going to Handlebar Mines and the surface town that they had, or going around to Mustache Pass and going to that cave. Do we have? I know we're all watching Hamed.
Yeah.
So I got distracted.
I wasn't sure if everyone else was.
I was watching if he was putting pocket salt in there. I would say, with the goals you have set forth, surprise is always a good idea.
So around it is.
So
that would be most helpful.
I think okay, so around. So you're going to Mustache Pass? Is that the
to the cave that we found before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, Rosa, you've flown above Handlebar Mines and have seen what's happened because you're aware of the surroundings and you're aware of what's happening. So you, the dwarves that were building a town up there were building a traditional dwarvish surface town. So lots of stone buildings, and they, just as a reminder to our players and our chat, and then probably some first information, the layout of Handlebar Mines, at least the surface town, there was a small river running through it that came down from the mountains with a bridge. Excuse me. Y'all got me laughing and now had to face the consequences. Down the middle of the town, on the western side of the town, were all the dwarven buildings. and only dwarves were allowed to live on that side. That's where the shops were. That's where you met Honest Dan. He had like his pawn shop.
Honest Dan dead?
Y'all forgot about Honest Dan, didn't you?
Yep.
I sure did. You sure? It's fine. Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out. And then on the eastern part of the river, there were some farms and such, but it was kind of a shanty town where people would just build with whatever they could find, and that's where Ken was setting up. Where Howard was setting up his inn. That was the plan. So that's what it looked like before. And Rosa, you saw the town was growing a bit and expanding, and the dwarves were still being sticklers about their rules and kind of being a little segregationist. But they weren't being overly destructive to the environment. Like they were getting stone and stuff for the buildings, and they were in their mines a lot, but they're, from what you can tell, mostly gone, and you haven't been able to make it into the mine, but the surface town has been more or less destroyed. And now it is just it's a huge null war camp. There's hide tents scattered throughout, completely disorganized, as different clans and factions of gnolls have set up over the surface. And they have defended it. It is the dwarves were building a stone wall over their section, and that's probably 75% completed now. And everywhere there's not a dwarven made stone wall, which as the legends say, those are basically impenetrable. They're thick and very excellent for defending. These like null palisades made of wood and garbage and basically ruins of the buildings and anything that wasn't valuable has been put into these like shoddy defenses, and that surrounds the rest of the town. And it was kind of set back in a valley between like mountains almost. And then the mine entrance was in a mountain. So the town itself is just a massive war camp where Rosa isn't sure what happened to anyone that lived on the surface. At one point, they all tried to escape to the mines themselves, but that has since been breached, and Dragonbane and his army have made it into the mines and have been there for quite some time. But still, there's enough gnolls on the surface that it's a full-on camp. So within a couple days, you make your way to that cave entrance from so long ago. Let me see if I can find that map to refresh my memory. And maybe yours. Sorry, just seeing here.
It's dawn right now. What kind of what does the sky look like? Is it cloudy, rainy? Is it sunny, cold?
I'm gonna say it's overcast. Okay. It feels like there'll be rain a little bit later. Okay. But it hasn't gotten to that point of rain.
Is there any smell of smoke or chemicals or dust or even putrid burning corpses in the air?
Nothing right now, but you are very likely, I think, a day or so away from the town itself. And right now it seems pretty quiet and like peaceful and naturey right now.
I love the swamp. I feel like a duck in water.
You are a duck in water.
And he has this big smile on his face as he kind of wiggles his tail. You know.
So Rosa,
sorry, mine's unimportant.
I was just gonna ask. It's not important either. Did you happen to see a pawn shop called Honest Dan's when you flew over?
That does sound familiar, but I do not know what has happened to Honest Dan.
It's a shame. Honest guy.
That guy had feathers in his hat.
Didn't say he was likable, but he was.
That's where you're wrong. He was extremely likable.
Y'all say that as non-bird folk.
Chime, you ever malted before? We all malt, feathers on the ground. Just because he had feathers doesn't mean he killed one of us.
Okay.
A simple okay.
Okay.
Besides, if he did something so heinous, it's in his name. He'd have to be honest about it.
He really doesn't.
We can cast Zone of Truth next time.
I did not know him well, and I hope he is well. I worry.
I think he had a brother named Abe.
So you're walking down this path as you approach Mustache Pass, and after a couple of hours, and you're having your discussion, you notice again the massive rock slide that took place, which happened before y'all were there. Y'all had a fight there. You fought some. I think you fought some gnolls there as well. And off to the side, you see the small cave entrance into the cave that set you further up into the mountains. So long ago, in season 1.
Oh, it was season 1.
This all was season 1. Remember, season 2 was supposed to be you all stay in Brownstone, and then in like episode 2 or 3, you became the most wanted fugitives in all of Brownstone, and we had to pivot. I had to pivot. It's fine.
And we spent like 70% of the season out of Brownstone.
The cave entrance has it's been a kind of covered up, likely naturally, like as like dirt coming down the mountains as it rains, and a couple of small rocks, but you're able to recognize it.
But that one goes the opposite direction, right?
So we're gonna do a little DMing, like a little more rails than usual just right now. It takes you a couple hours to like clear the entrance from dirt and stuff for all of you to be able to like squeeze in. But as you make your way into the cave itself, it comes back to you a little bit more. You walk in a few feet, and there's a small-ish, for like the scope of this project, a stone room, stone floor, stone walls. There are some torches on the walls that are not currently lit because, you know, torches can't last forever, even though they do in video games, which is fine. It's fine. And there's a path leading north, which, as you recall, there was a small shrine in there with some beds, and nothing else of any major interest. There's a path leading to the west, which is the way you went before, which led you through your adventures. But to the east, which is the direction that you believe Handlebar Mines would be, there is a large iron portcullis that is blocking the path. It is fully down, and the sides of it especially, and like you can kind of glance through it. It looks like it's kind of not like rusted in place, but it just hasn't moved in so long that it'd be incredibly difficult to show that. I can.
Ken's asking the others, hey, should I give this a go? You think I can lift it? I think I can lift it.
Did we try that last time?
It's been a while.
No, you drank some nasty water or food or something last time.
I got sick, yeah, I remember
Did get sick.
Okay.
All of you give me a perception check as you're like looking through and exploring this. Rosa, I'm gonna give you a temporary token real quick.
You have attempted to use the roll command looking for the value of the selected token, but no tokens are selected. Oh, my mistake.
You all have some old tokens on the map already.
I see.
I am caught up in my memories and trying to think of something that I don't know what's going on. I rolled a 6.
I rolled a 19.
I rolled a 3.
I rolled an 11.
You're the.
It's a room. I'm sure.
It's the. I got a rock.
You're reliving that whatever happened last time.
Yeah, Ken's looking in the opposite direction. He's looking at the entrance to the cave, and he's like, "Which way are we at?"
I only see a blank screen. I'm sorry.
It'll be just a second. I am currently.
I thought you were waiting on me, and I was like, I got you.
No, the awkward look on my face is me trying to like get all the stuff done in Roll20 behind the scenes as quickly as I can.
Sorry, I was not trying to rush you then.
Yeah,
no, you were.
We put in filler and we actually kind of role play a little bit and saying, "You guys remember what happened when we took the other way, right? We got smashed by those freaking rolling boulders."
That's still one of my favorites.
You all got smashed by those rolling boulders. I fought a gross spider.
Yeah, let's not go that way again. What do you think is beyond this door?
I mean, it's the mines, right?
But it probably is just as dangerous as the other one. It makes sense it would be, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna get out. I'm assuming I have a compass. So I'm gonna get a compass. No?
You don't have a compass.
Oh. Rosa, do you happen to know which way is north from here?
Sorry, real quick. Jillian, do you see the map currently?
Oh, yep, now I can.
Okay, there's a token in the middle there that has a blue border. Can you click that and make sure all the macros and stuff work for you just real quick?
I believe so. I see them there.
And then can you just see if you can move that token? Just in case.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Did you do a perception check? You did not.
I have not yet. Where is that under skill check?
Yep.
Thank you. It's been a minute.
It has. Okay.
I was not there.
So most of you are a little disoriented. I think we've kind of established that. And as you're glancing around, Chime actually is looking and looking, and for a split second, Chime, maybe it's a reflection of light because I'm assuming someone has a torch out here.
Sure.
Yes.
Because I mean, not all of you have night vision. The torch flicker. There's something shiny on the other side of that portcullis, and it looks like it's attached to the wall. You're not sure what it was, but like, it's shiny.
Ooh.
But it's a little ways on the other side of the portcullis. It's probably like 10 feet.
Oh no.
What do you see? You've got that look in your eye.
It's shiny over there.
Not again.
Is it a particular?
I've been so
shiny?
good lately. I don't know. I just saw a little shiny, and I think I deserve this shiny as a treat.
Where is it?
It's over there. It's behind the portcullis.
Yeah. The problem is it's behind the portcullis.
I know, and I really want the shiny.
Oh damn.
I don't know how to make it move.
Can we try investigating again the portcullis itself?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to carefully, before I step forward, I'm going to carefully kind of survey the area, and if I just to make sure there's nobody around the corner, and slowly walk towards this portcullis right about there. Slowly touch it, investigate it, smell it, take note of all of the little cracks and the moss overgrowth along it, and try to sort of figure out if there's something, if I can understand the mechanisms around it, if there's anything on the walls that look like they're connected to it. And I rolled a freaking 11, so...
Okay. So you're investigating it, and you do see some gears, and it looks like they definitely have that like orangish reddish at least surface rust on them that are up above.
I got an idea. And Ken whips around and he says, "Rosa, would you be able to turn into something that could fit through those cracks?"
Yes, I think a mouse would work.
I think there might be a lever somewhere on the other side. Be very
a wee little mouse.
Okay, if you see a lever, inspect your surroundings first, make sure you're alone, and then gate back or turn back into yourself and use the lever. And Ken pulls his great sword out and readies an action.
Do I actually have to cast for that, Donald?
Sorry. Wild Shape is some very long text because there's a lot to it.
Sorry about that.
Oh.
So the way it works is you get so many uses per day. And I think that's based off your charisma modifier. So yeah, or maybe it's just 3. No problem. So like it's a new day, so this is the first time you use it, but otherwise, no, you just turn into a mouse, and that is one of your 3 uses. And that's it.
I'm gonna get my crossbow out and also ready in action just in case something comes out from the shadows.
I'm looking at that shiny. Ooh, she's got like the shakes. She's like, I haven't had anything shiny in so long.
So I'm like
straighten over.
Yeah.
So you make it through the cracks. And it just feels as you like make it to the side of the portcullis, this area feels a little bit wilder to you. Like the area you were in before, it's been traversed. Like people have been there. But as you make it to the side of the portcullis, you feel even more in tune with nature, even though you're underground. And this is like obviously a I don't want to say man-made. It's a dwarf-made tunnel. Like it's polished and all the corners are perfectly straight, and there's like these little details in the rock, but it's been overgrown with moss and like little vines and stuff cracking through, and it feels almost like you're outside again. And you're able to squeak through the portcullis and over to that section of the wall. And there, hanging on the wall, is the face of a dwarf, but made of metal, with a chain coming out of his mouth with a circle on the end. And one of his eyes has a large diamond inside of it. Likely the light that caught Chime's eye.
Are any
Very shiny.
Are any of his teeth blue?
They're all gold.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Woodrow!
I've already started. We've become a goblin. Let's get over there.
Shiny, shiny, shiny.
The chain's hanging down, so in your halfling form, you could very likely reach it without any issue.
Can I do a perception check to make sure I am alone here?
Of course. You go ahead and roll that as you look around.
Is that what I would roll? Perception?
Yeah, you'd roll perception, which is under your skill checks as well.
Ken whispers to Karn, she's good.
I got a 17.
Okay. As mentioned before, like it feels very like natural. Like this, at least this section you're in has not been traversed for a long time. And you glance to both sides and your little mouse vision. You don't notice anyone or anything that's waiting in this tunnel.
Okay, I am going to unmouse myself.
God.
All right, and you pop back up into halfling form.
Okay.
Everything okay?
And, everything's good. I see the shiny.
Yes.
And there is a chain here that I think I should probably pull.
Look for traps first.
I think all of this is a trap, to be honest.
Right,
Very
So-
perceptive.
If you found a trap, would you be able to do anything with it?
Just investigate.
Okay, so I am going to pull on the chain slowly and carefully.
Okay.
And see what happens.
It's tough to pull at first because it likely hasn't been moved in best case hundreds of years. And it takes a little effort, but eventually you're able to pull it. And it lets out a thunk. 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 thunk, thunk, and you can start to hear the gears like almost like shaking at first, and then little bits of rust start to pop off them, and the gears as the portcullis itself slowly begins to rise as the chain comes further out of this dwarf's mouth and is now like laying across the floor almost. As the portcullis itself raises up, revealing a tunnel heading to the east and a very satisfied halfling.
And Ken takes one look at Chime with this a smirk on his face.
What?
He turns around, doesn't say a word, and walks in.
Look for traps first. Go to your shiny.
Yeah, check for traps. I mean,
Get your shiny. Check for traps.
I look for traps.
Give me an
But
investigation check.
Investigation.
Ken puts his hand on James and Karn's shoulder, saying, "We've come a long way, guys."
13.
You like look around, and it doesn't look like the chain was trapped. The diamond, though, you notice there's one missing. And as you're looking around, the opposite wall that's like directly behind you as you're facing this dwarven face with the diamond eye, there's like a little scorch mark, a little black section on the wall. About, if you kind of like, you're, looking back and forth and lining it out, like a little mark on the wall about where the other diamond, if the other eye was a diamond, about where that would have been.
Hey, Ken, I'm not strong enough to get this out. Will you pull it out for me, please?
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
He gets his great sword out, and he kind of stands next to the head. All right, says, "All right, get out of the way. This thing might fly right off. Everybody move." And he clears kind of like a radius, a cone, a 6-foot cone out from it, and kind of levers it under the eye. Do you want me to roll strength for this?
You're using a lever, and it's fine. All right. I mean, y'all outsmarted a trap. You deserve it.
Ow. His brain knocks it loose.
Yeah,
What
like
happens?
you lever, the diamond just like pops out and clink, clink, clink against the floor. And then like a second later, a bolt of lightning shoots out where the eye was. And just luckily, again, you all had a plan and it made sense. So hits the wall and leaves a scorch mark very similar to the one that was next to it. And the diamond is just on the floor now.
Thank you. I take it. Put it in my pocket.
He's got this look at his face. He's just kind of staring at Chime like, you know that was going to happen.
I didn't know for sure.
Oh,
You handled it. In your testosterone.
fair enough.
basically, Chime is doing the, but did you die?
But did you die?
I do that every day.
God.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
Can I get things you don't want to hear from your doctor?
No,
Steve
God.
Harvey.
Oh, shit.
Adding 1 diamond to my inventory.
100 people surveyed. No. Okay. So what's down this tunnel? What do we see?
It's a very long, very straight, very like just perfect dwarven tunnel that leads to the east that extends beyond the vision of your night vision or your torches or whatever you might have. And basically it just leads into the unknown.
Is there like vegetation and moss and vines and stuff all over the walls?
It's not like completely covering, but it's poked through in certain places.
Significant.
Much more significant. And in some places, like the floor is probably a little slick from moss or lichen or whatever like might be growing there. But like, and the floors are still like perfectly smooth. And there's like maybe a couple pebbles in the ground for like a tree root has somehow poked through. But yeah, it's definitely like an overgrown, maybe in a couple places as if you're walking down it, some like almost wooded vegetation that's really taken hold here.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking is because I'm thinking that there's probably enough vegetation that sound is not going to go too far down this tunnel like it would if it was just solid stone. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to turn to everybody and say, hey, I'm going to run down like a bit. I want you guys to just make noise. I want to see how far noise travels down here.
Oh, I've got this.
Okay.
Rosa, be prepared. It's gonna be amazing.
Okay, so I'm just gonna like run. I don't know. Carefully walk, not run, because it's slick and OSHA.
Safety first.
So I'm gonna walk pretty far away, back. Actually, the back of the way we came because I know that's safe. And then I'm back pretty far, and I basically want to approach until I hear whatever it is Chime's doing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Chime, what are you doing?
I am saying nuts for sale as loud as I can.
Okay. I feel like you have a loud voice when needed. Like as loud as you can, I think is loud.
It's pretty dang loud.
So I think if you're yelling, and this is where my lack of acoustical engineering knowledge will likely come in, but we'll make it up as we go. So James, could you like show me on the map about how far you would go? So I'm going to say you're like still about here.
Oh, like, I can't see anything past here.
Oh, because there is a door there, which I just took care of.
Oh, there's still a threshold. Oh, I can see the other. Okay, we can still move through it though.
Oh, I can fix that. It's been a while, but I can. Boom, fixed it.
So if this is going for a while, then this isn't where I would have done it, but I would have probably started like at least that far away.
Okay.
But back from the way we came,
sure.
It's already safe.
Yeah. Well, this is the way that's you'd be going, so that's the way you came. Yeah. Anyway.
Right. I just assumed we'd gone down a little bit.
That's probably
at least 50 feet. I would go at least 50 feet.
I don't think it would be super loud, but I think you would still hear like Chime yelling from 50 feet.
Okay. So definitely hear her, but like it's way, way softer than it should be.
But that's all you hear. You don't hear the sounds of like the rest of the party. I'm sure they're still conversing and like talking as this is happening. So I think that's about what would happen. So like, yeah, there are some sound muffling qualities here, but it is like not ridiculously so.
Cool. Okay. All right. Thanks. That was super helpful. So we about 50 feet away, I could barely hear you screaming, and I couldn't hear anybody else.
Oh.
So we can use that how we need to if it comes up, but it's good to know that about 50 feet away we can have a normal conversation and no one can hear us. Okay, cool. So well, as long as vegetation on the walls. Cool.
Let's push forward.
Yeah. I think I'll scout out ahead a bit, trying to be a little quiet, knowing that Mr. Plate Armor back here is not the quietest. But I'm gonna try and get ahead just in case we run into something that at least I'm a little quieter, and don't mind being out front.
Yeah, be careful, James. Be as stealthy as you can. Chime, you want to help him out?
Yeah, I was gonna say like I may not have.
I didn't want to volunteer anyone other than myself.
Stealth is like my middle name, but not actually, because I'm a bird.
It's Joanne.
It's definitely not Joanne. Technically, I don't have a middle name. That's not the naming conventions we have.
My mistake.
Anyway.
But also I have dark vision, so.
Yeah, that's the main issue, is that I would be bringing a torch.
Right.
So if you want me to help, I can, but it brings a torch into the equation.
I'll let you know if I see something I think I want a second opinion on, but I think I'd rather you all kind of hang back.
Can I add something? I say that, James, you go ahead as stealthily as you can, but of all of us, you need a lookout like 30 yards behind you, and I think Chime could do that.
Yeah, okay. that makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you can keep that mental link, wait, how far does that thing go?
I think about 30 feet.
Okay. All right. That works for me.
Okay, 30 feet's fine.
Keep a mental link open. Keep a comm open at all times.
Aye, aye, Captain.
All right, so yeah.
Up to you.
I think with the vegetation on the wall, I'm not trying to go half speed. I'm just trying to not be loud.
So you're not. Gotcha. You're walking at a relatively normal.
Right, but I'm leaving my plate-clad friend behind on purpose.
Okay. The path goes on for a while. I think you're probably walking for a few hours before anything of any note happens. It is just this, what seems like a perfectly level, perfectly straight, perfect corners, just covered in vegetation now, dwarven corridor that's about 10 feet wide. Throughout 10-foot tall ceilings, like it's just a 10-foot. It basically looks like a 10-foot gelatinous cube. 10-foot cube just went through this in a perfectly straight line, and then occasionally would leave some torches on the walls that were unlit, and every hour or so, probably walking, you'll see, and it's covered in vegetation, so you maybe missed one, maybe you didn't. Just like placards that are written in Dwarvish. Do any of you read Dwarvish?
Ken does, because he's got the belt.
Because he has the belt of Dwarven kind.
I need to roll D100 to see if I grow a beard spontaneously.
I think it's probably just your feathers have gotten longer to look more like a beard, just because you've had this thing on for like a year or so. So law of averages, you got a little bit going on. A couple of these like placards that'll say like 5 miles till next like sanctuary, kind of like little instructions, or every so often telling you how long it's going to be till something. And likely the one that you just saw, the 5 miles, you're like, that was probably about 5 miles where that portcullis was. So these are likely just counting until you get to that sanctuary that you all initially came in at. Other than that,
so long. It's counting up.
Now it is going up. Yes.
God. Okay.
And those are spaced out pretty regularly. But no information about what you're going towards. And after, so again, several hours of this, James, you see it first. It's like a light emanating from just.
I immediately signal.
Just stop.
like tell them to stop, hunker down, hang on.
Yeah.
So it's not like a focused light, though. It's like this.
Doesn't matter. If I see something that I'm not expecting, I'm telling everybody to hunker down. Yeah.
Okay.
Get down. Shut up.
It's a radiating light, like an entire just room in front of you basically at the end of your vision, where that would be something is a tremendous amount of light is coming from there.
All right. I'm actually going to go back and tell Chime what I saw and ask her to come sneak up with me since there's already light there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it either so Chime, either we should go together or you should go on your own. If you think that I'm at risk of making things worse for you.
I don't think you're at risk. You're fine. Yeah, so I will put out my torch and go along with him.
All right.
I'm going to relay a quick message to the group behind to say where they are.
Okay.
Ooh, tell them if we don't come back in 10 minutes, something happened.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
The three of you good with that? Okay.
Why do you have a banana?
That's my great sword tonight.
Oh, okay. Banana for scale?
Yeah.
Banana for scale.
Okay.
Then the James and Chime need you both to give me a perception check.
Okay.
Sure.
Damn it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I got
so
a 10.
mediocre tonight.
We both got a 10.
Okay.
So average.
You're making your way slowly and like intent, just very, I imagine intent is like the keyword. You're deliberately making your way towards this area that you're not quite sure what's there.
Yes.
And as you slowly approach it, and the plants that are surrounding are muffling sounds. But as you're almost to where you can completely see into this room, you hear a sound that sounds like broken glass. Like as if you were taking very thin champagne glasses and putting them in a bag and crushing them. And that is the sound that you're just hearing this tiny little bit of. And it's just constantly happening, coming from this room in front of you. Would you like to move forward?
I'm gonna look at her and I'm gonna like just say, this. Does it seem familiar?
I don't know if you ever would have experienced this sound, because I'll be honest, I had to Google what this sounds like, and that's what came back to me. Like, I didn't know what it would, and I was kind of surprised by it. So we'll discuss that afterwards.
What is that? And I mean, I'm still whispering, even though we're not verbally communicating, because, you know, what is that?
I have no idea. I think this needs to be a whole party thing, potentially.
I agree.
I mean, do you want me to go and like try and sneak a peek in the room?
No.
Like not go in? No?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about it.
You should just say the Star Wars. You don't watch Star Wars, never mind.
Okay.
Every Star Wars, they say, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh.
I got a bad feeling about that.
And then something.
I like Star Wars. I've seen almost all the movies.
He's seen a Star War or two in his day.
Go see a Star War.
I've watched several of them several times.
What's your favorite?
I just, you know what? I want to try and get whatever inkling I can about what the heck is going on in there before we send everyone in.
Okay. In fact, okay, if you want to do that, that's fine. So it can, Donald, can Chime like sneak up without me losing sight of her?
Yeah, probably. Hopefully. Let's see what the dice say.
No. No.
She's really sneaky.
No, I get that. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get out my crossbow. I'm gonna ready in action. I'm gonna be like, okay, just in case. I'm gonna be ready. Please be careful.
I will. I'll make a stealth check to get up close.
Make a stealth check.
Okay. That is an 18.
Okay.
Nice roll.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second.
If it fails, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
I really hope what I think is coming, because if it's coming, you'll be hearing mountains of praise at the end of this episode. Well,
what do you? Well, we'll just cover it.
They got a 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you walk into this, like, you're able to kind of a couple of twists and turns, which is odd for this, but for this hallway that you've experienced, because it's been so straight and so long for just so long. You go around and James is able to like peek around a corner and keep an eye on you, and you make one last turn. And as you walk in, this like blast of heat like hits your face, as if now it all makes sense. You look out to just a river of lava 30 feet below you. Directly in front of you is a stone arch that, unfortunately, most of it has crumbled away. On the far side of it, a large stone wall with statues of dwarves, huge statues of dwarves. Just, I can't think of the right word. I would say mortised, but that's just my work brain thinking. Like they're engraved into the wall, like, y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
They're part of the wall.
Exactly, thank you. That's the easier way of saying it. They're all holding different weapons. They're covered in this armor that is made of gold and silver and covered in gems. And seemingly guarding a large iron door. And that's where we're going to pick up in 2 weeks for our next episode of KFD&D. I have to always look at a calendar to what is happening in 2 weeks. That is going to be May the 10th. We'll have our next one at 8 o'clock. Yeah, always. We got to end on a cliffhanger. Got to have y'all coming back for more D&D.
I'll definitely be back.
More.
You're invited.
Thank you all for hanging out tonight. Hope y'all had fun.
I was
hanging out with y'all.
Sorry I missed last time.
Oh no, you had a perfectly amazing reason for being sick.
Yeah, not the same without you, but we understand.
Yes, glad you're feeling better and back.
Never the same without you. I think we're gonna raid our friend Heck Vetica. He's playing Dead Island 2. We're gonna get a very different vibe. We love Heck. So we are going to head over towards his channel whenever I remember how to do it, because it's been a minute since we've streamed. So thank you all so much again for hanging out. And I'm trying to remember what tab I have.
I mean, can we talk about how exciting it is that Jillian joined the party? I mean, this is so
yeah,
that's
amazing. Excellent addition. So happy to have you, Jillian.
Thank you. I'm excited to join y'all. Thank you so much.
It is fun to get a fresh perspective.
Yeah,
and diversity. Yeah, so
happy it's you.
Indeed, I like having two women at each other's throats.
He tries to like at Rose's throat.
I just had to ease her suspicions. They were very valid.
Yeah, she's just a witch.
She's just a witch.
Yeah, she's a witch.
Well, thank y'all. We're going to end the stream here and head over to Heck Vetica. And then we always do our post. We discuss the campaign with each other. So we're going to do that. I can't find my button.
Night,
there it
y'all.
is. Night, everybody.
Night.
See you later.
Wonderful time.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.